Oh yeah, I can hear you typing. Hear you typing from
on my
over here.
mechanical keyboard.
Yeah, I can hear you typing in the headphones and in like regular life too.
Oh, regular life. What are ears but just your regular life headphones?
What?
What are ears but your regular life headphones?
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
Are you listening to the headphones, or are the headphones listening to you?
I highly doubt anyone is listening to me.
I mean, guess what? No one's listening. It's the episode. It's the name of our third episode, and
It's true.
Perhaps completely unironically, our least listened to episode.
That's
Real
great.
self-fulfilling prophecy there.
Truly, yeah.
Speaking of Truly, that's what our show is sponsored by today, because that's what we've been pounding.
Yeah, we've been pounding them, all right.
Actually,
fuck, I should get another one before we start. I was like, nah, I don't need another one.
Grab a Truly,
But
dog.
I do need a
I'll be
Truly.
sipping on this passion fruit Truly.
What do you think about the passion fruit?
So, I gotta say, that tropical pack is a fucking winner.
Right? They're all really
They're all good. Yeah.
I like them all. I like how they don't really taste too much like alcohol. They really don't taste like alcohol at all. It's pretty nice. What in the ass are you looking at?
I don't know, some girl who's apparently a member of Guns N' Roses.
Okay. There's a female gun, or potentially Rose.
Yes.
The two genders.
She plays the second keyboards in Guns N' Roses, replacing Chris Pittman, who is a purple link on my Wikipedia.
You've looked at this before.
And honestly, I think he might have been a guy who played with like Nine Inch Nails or Rob Zombie or something for a while. Nope. Tool. That's right. He's the guy who's done most of the live keyboard work for Tool, which is what led me to look at him, because I'm like, man, who's sad enough to play this boring bullshit? And the answer is Chris Pittman. Well done. A real craftsman playing like 4 notes per song for Tool. You're really doing someone's work there, buddy.
All right. Okay.
All right.
That's a thought. Just throwing them out there. This is definitely the most inebriated I've started an episode being. So great job, everyone. We killed it. I think. Also, I don't know if we're recording or not. I guess I'm just pretending like we are.
No, we've been recording.
Oh, wonderful. Okay, good. This is our first live episode.
I mean, yeah. It is. Yeah,
like
welcome.
live, I mean IRL.
Yeah, this is going to be so much easier to mix. I'm just going to like take these mics out of phase and just like not edit it at all. So what you say is what you get, Spencer.
I don't care.
If you want to confess to any murders, don't do it here.
Because they'll just be exposing it to the one person in Saudi Arabia that listens to this episode.
There's a guy in France too.
Okay.
But if you would like to commit any murders, please God do it here, because I am tired of this world.
Aren't we all?
We certainly are.
Life sure is a thing, isn't it?
Yeah.
We out here, as the children say.
The children of men.
Oh, yeah.
The children of men.
The children of metal, really.
Children of metal.
Here in the hall.
The daycare hall.
Yeah.
The daycare of metal. Daycare of metal.
So the bar.
The bar is definitely, especially metal bars, are definitely daycares in their own way.
In their own way, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, like,
different type of care.
Yeah, and they differ. Like our local like vegan metal bar is a lot more mature, because probably it's vegans and like people with an actual like purpose, whereas
some kind of ethics.
Yeah.
They've thought about things just a little bit.
Yeah, like enough to be like, oh man, it sucks for them, I should be nice. Whereas like most metal bars are just like, they'll get mad at you if you say you like, like Turbo Lover. And they'll be like, what kind of faggot are you? And I'll be like, the kind of faggot that loves Turbo Lover?
Turbo's alright, dude. Like, I'm not huge on Turbo. I want to like Turbo more than I like Turbo. I think that Turbo has some good songs.
Yeah.
But it doesn't rise to what the heights that I want Turbo to rise to. Like, I love the idea of a more synth-driven, more poppy Judas Priest. I love that idea.
No, me too, yeah.
I don't feel like they really nail it, though.
You know, honestly, who I would actually like to see try to take on Turbo, and I think could do it better, is Iron Maiden.
Oh, that'd be fun.
I think that would be way cooler.
My Turbo Lover.
I could definitely see Iron Maiden pulling that off better, specifically because, I mean, they just have a much better, more rhythmic bassist that could really do service to that kind of poppy, bass-driven music.
Sure.
Or synth-driven music, but yeah. Yeah, so, I don't know, do we want to get the show on the road?
Let's do it.
Okay.
I need a script. I don't remember what I'm supposed to say.
I mean, we can do it in the reverse, because I remember what you're supposed to say.
I know. Like, we did that earlier, and that was good. I liked that. It was easy. Here, I can pull it up. I have the Google Drive.
Oh, yeah. Just pull up your thing. I've got, 4 words, so... Oh, no, it's right here, actually.
I have it right here.
Okay, cool.
That's fine. Okay. Hey, I'm Spencer.
And I'm Britton.
Since 2011, Buckethead has released
284
albums in his Pikes series, and we're going to listen to them. 3
at a time.
This is Getting Head, a Bucketcast. It's a lot easier when we're in the same room.
Welcome, bots, slogs, friends, and bucketheads. This is episode 9 of Getting Head,
a Bucketcast.
Yeah, what's going on, Spencer? What's new? What's happening with you?
Oh, that's a really good question. Not the most, but I mean, still things, right? Like life is a series of events, and you're always experiencing it, whether you like to or not. And that is something that I've been doing.
You know what
lately.
I'd say? We life in a society.
We live in a life.
We truly live in a life. I cannot argue with that.
Certainly not. No. I've been working a lot, and I've been working like a weird shift. So this last week, I was working 12 p.m. to 9 p.m. for the last 3 days in a row, which is not necessarily bad and not necessarily the worst shift. But for the last, maybe 4 or 5 months, I've been working primarily in the morning. Like, these are the first shifts I've had like this in quite some time.
Off, it's 6 or 7.
Yeah, right. And so part of the reason we've been having so many scheduling problems. I've been working primarily in the morning, mostly like 9 to 6, 8 to 5, things like that. But these days, working these 12 to 9s, like things have been a little bit different. I've been using my time a little bit differently as a result of this. Been getting up around the same amount or around the same time, getting up at 9 a.m., like trying to like get some calisthenics in, warm up for the day. Yeah. Drink a bunch of coffee.
Of course. Love the coffee.
As we do, as one does. Right?
One must.
As one must. But I found that because I'm starting my workday so late in the day, by the time I get out of work, dude, I am wrecked. I'm wrecked.
Okay.
I got nothing left.
Yeah, I mean, if you're not used to the schedule, like if that's your schedule, like when I was only working nights and getting off at 11, I had fucking boundless energy until 3 a.m.
Oh, sure, right? Night. Totally. Like when I was working that schedule too. Absolutely.
I would just like come home and just like lift and bait. Then by that I mean I would watch Jason Bateman's filmography.
Yeah, as you do.
Bait Fest. Yeah.
And that show that he's in on the Netflix, the network flicks.
The what? That's a line from the show.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I watched the first episode of that show. What's that show called? I forget.
I don't know. It's like written by Stephen King.
The Glaves.
You're thinking the one about the Everglades. Oh,
yeah.
I know which one you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's not the one I was thinking of. I don't think that's on HBO. That's on like FX or something.
It's on Netflix. Yeah, it's on Netflix.
Oh, Netflix. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I was talking about the HBO one. Sorry, the one that was written by Stephen King.
Yeah. Oh, The Outsider. I watched that show. That was all right.
Yeah.
But so that show that he's in on Netflix, I watched the first episode of that show.
The Ozarks.
The Ozarks. Yeah. I watched the first episode of that show. I know a lot of people like that show. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to watch that show. And it's okay. But so this is why I'm not going to watch that show. The first episode of that show, there's a really awkward scene where like Jason Bateman. When I say Jason Bateman. Yeah. He's in his office and like his like superior or something that comes in to talk to him, and while his superior is like giving him like talking to or whatever, he just like puts some porn on his desktop monitor, and like the dude that's talking to him can't see it, but he's just like sitting there watching porn while the dude's talking to him, and it's just like, that's fine, no hate there, you can do that, but like the way it's done is so like shitty edgy. In a way that's like, it's like trying so hard to be edgy that it just comes across as like cringe as fuck. Like I cannot stand it. Like I was watching it, I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever seen.
So
like,
I mean, I think what you're trying to say to me is like, you're like, I'm not going to watch 3 episodes with this. I could just like hang out with Brit for an afternoon. And like
have I told that story on this podcast?
No, which one?
The one that I told you somewhat recently. I don't remember if we were recording or not. Okay, like I came over here to this place actually.
My paid for pornography collection.
Yeah.
we definitely did talk about that. Yes, it's okay. We can skip that one. That's treading used water there.
For sure. No, it is what it is. But yeah, I watched it. It felt too shitty edgy for me. Too mall edgy, maybe. It's a way of
Spencer's Gifts level of edge.
Yeah. No relation.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
I mean,
I have researched it. Yes, I'm sure.
The thing is, like, every time I give you a gift, it then becomes one of Spencer's gifts.
Damn it.
So,
and you're not wrong. You have given me quite a few gifts.
If you don't want gifts, it's fine. But it's like...
And you do give me the type of gifts that one might find at a Spencer's Gifts.
Sometimes. I also give you cool, meaningful gifts.
No, this is true.
But I also give you, like, I'll be, like, in a vintage store. And, God, what was that fucking hat I gave you that, like, lives
so
free?
cool.
It has, like, a fucking eagle on it.
It says,
with, like, lightning bolts and shit. God, it's so sick.
Yeah, I have it. It's actually like hanging on my wall. Like I look at it all the time, and it's
such a meme of a hat.
It says like "Ride hard, live free" or something on it.
It
has
actually
an eagle,
matches
and it's
your
like,
mustache, which is
weird. Oh yeah. It's pretty great. The only reason I don't wear it more is because I guess my head is really big. I don't know. Hats don't fit me, or they fit really tight. And that hat in particular feels like it was made for a child, because like it does not even fit on my head at all.
What you should do is do like Howie Mandel and like put the glove on your head and blow it up.
That's a good look.
That's a hat that's like, it's one size fits all.
That's the look that I would imagine the anti-Buckethead would have.
Yeah, I mean, Howie Mandel is kind of the anti-Buckethead. Right? I mean, when we think about it, like Howie Mandel cannot.
That sound was Brit scratching balls.
I was actually scratching my buttocks.
Okay.
I
like that it made enough of a sound to be picked up, so I just wanted to like address it.
Well, I mean, since we don't have since squeaky chair is no longer a factor,
it's
on
banished.
The show, it has to be like ball scratching chair. Is the only third guest we have today. So
we were supposed to have a guest who canceled.
Let's talk about our guest.
Let's talk about her. Let's pretend our guest is here.
Hey, welcome to the podcast. Today we have someone who's very, very special to us.
Incredibly special.
I mean, Monty Mccleary.
Mr. Monty Mccleary.
Hey, welcome to the show. Yeah.
Oh, right. You didn't fucking come.
Oh, yeah.
Damn it.
Yeah, just
it's
like
okay.
Everybody I've ever dated.
Yeah, we love Monty. It's okay. Monty couldn't make it for real reasons. It's all right.
Yep. But he didn't want to. That was his real.
That was the real reason.
Yeah. That is a real reason.
That's a legitimate reason. I mean, like, I feel like that stuff should be more normalized, right? Like, some days, like, you're just not feeling it, and like, it's okay to just not feel it.
Yeah. Like, what I can tell someone can hang when I'm just like, hey, I'm sorry. Like, you know, it's rare. I'm a very like punctual person, and I follow through with like almost all of my plans. But on a rare occasion, I'll be like, hey, I'm sorry. I just like, you know, I do have the time today, but I'd rather just like fucking get high and sleep. Mm-hmm. And you know, if someone's willing to accept it, I'm like, hey, you're a winner,
right? I really respect that, like, totally, because like I try to be the same way. It doesn't always work out like that for me. I mean, sometimes, you know, shit happens. Mm-hmm. But I do try to honor my commitments with people and do these things. But in some cases, like, yo, shit happens, right? Mm-hmm. Whether it be like just a long day or it's like weird mental health shit comes up. It's like sometimes you're just like, I can't do it. And I don't know, sometimes that's a battle with people. And like it's always like a very hard thing for me when it's a battle. I mean,
you know, yeah, and like sometimes like people start talking to you and you'll look down at your coffee mug that clearly states, don't talk to me before my coffee in the morning.
Yeah.
And like clearly the mug's still full. And you just look at them and you're like,
can you fucking read?
It's go time, bitch. I'm going to teach you how to read.
Will you teach me how to read? I'm illiterate.
Dude, me too.
That's sick.
Whoa, have we just been playing the long con on both of each other? Like, who wrote our fucking album liner notes then?
Oh, that was me, but I don't know. I copied it from something else. I don't know what I did.
Cool. It's probably just the liner notes to Countdown to Extinction.
Wow, that's very accurate to the time. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyways, so I've been working weird shifts. I've been trying to like get a little bit more exercise. Been trying to work out a little bit. Mm-hmm. Been memeing a bunch. It's fun to do that. Yeah. I like doing that. It's okay, but the phone takes up a lot of my time. You know.
Yep.
It keeps me so busy. What you been up to?
You know, just hanging out, recording podcasts and stuff.
Wow, that's the worst answer possible.
I know. I mean, man, I spend like time on this and shit, and you know, so I've been you know, it's so this is the week of the American Thanksgiving holiday, and
that's a good way to put it.
As I have, you know. Stated before, I'm a grocery goth, and so Thanksgiving holiday is typically like the
brutal as fuck.
The brutalest. I mean, like literally yesterday, I spent like 2 hours just like standing behind heavy cream and making sure like it could be stocked as fast as people were buying it. It was
nice.
Weird. No, it wasn't nice.
It doesn't sound
like
nice.
Butter. I was just on butter duty. And it's like things I don't have to do.
Were you a butter boy?
I was a butter boy. There are like people who can do this, but I'm just like so neurotic that I'm like, no, like I gotta do this because I'm gonna do it motherfucking right.
Yeah.
And I got done. It was great. Everything went super well. But you know, it's a grocery life.
It's a grocery life for you.
It's a grocery life for me. Instead of payment, I get shifts.
Well, you do hopefully receive payment, compensation of some kind for these shifts.
At my risk, it's a grocery life.
This is like, yeah, okay. That was the most entertaining thing that's happened so far.
That was definitely the best joke so far. Is just me almost
dropping your can.
I'm dropping my can of Truly directly into my microphone. I just got this back from repair from Road. Like, I'm just gonna wreck it one more time and extend the warranty another 10 years. It's cool.
There you go. Whatever. God is dead. Warranty is forever.
No, and I must say, this podcast is currently being recorded by 2 Rode mics, and
indeed,
it sounds great.
It really does.
It's
like,
I
like the monitoring. The monitoring is nice. Like, it's nice to be able to hear myself, because like when we track distance, I can't hear myself at all when we're recording.
Yeah, I can hear both of us, but it's like it's kind of a struggle. Like, I don't know. And this is nice having the volume kind of low, because I can hear your voice naturally, and like it's coming through with like no latency.
Yeah, we don't have to yell into the fucking microphone.
This is really cool.
Which is pretty nice.
Which is like, I mean, the drunker I get, the more I have a tendency to yell. So like, having to not do it is actually interesting. And like, I almost feel compelled to, but I'm like, no.
I frequently feel compelled to yell. Oh, here's the thing that I did. I found this post on Reddit, actually, that is a hotline that you can call. It's an 800 number where you call and you scream into the phone.
Ooh, I like it.
And then you can listen to screams that people have, screamed into the phone really cool. on the website. And you can just like set up a playlist and just listen to all the screams in a row.
Ooh, I like that
which
a lot.
Is pretty great. Like, I really like the idea. Some people really don't like go for it, and then some people really do. And it's nice to hear the difference, but it's really nice when somebody really goes for it. So
one thing that I think was just a great idea was on GTA. I want to say GTA 4.
That's the New York one.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay.
They had a thing on the game where there was like an ad in a newspaper or something that gave a number and said, "Call and tell us what's wrong with America." And when you called, it gave you just like, it was like a messaging machine, like, "Tell us what's wrong with America." Beep. And so on GTA 5, they used 30 hours of those recordings to make a radio station that's just people calling and saying what's wrong with America.
I don't remember any of that, but that sounds fantastic.
That's a really cool, interesting project, I think.
Rad. Yeah.
I might have gotten the GTAs wrong there. It could have been any of the other ones, but I want to say it was 4 to 5.
That sounds the most likely. I don't remember anything like that in GTA 4, and that was the last one that I played a lot of. Mm-hmm. I played a good bit of GTA 5. I did not finish it, though. I did not enjoy that game very much. I thought it was
good, really?
I thought it was okay. I don't know.
The ensemble cast? I don't know.
I don't know. I really liked the story of Vice City, and I really liked the story
of... Dance, bro.
Yeah, and I really liked the story of San Andreas, too. I thought San Andreas was fantastic. That was, like, probably one of my favorite PS2 games, and I really liked the PS2. Played a lot of PS2 games, and, like, that was definitely one of my faves. And I liked the story in it, too. I liked CJ, and I liked that whole, like, thing. I thought it was really fun. But I don't know, dude. I thought that GTA 4 was cool. Yeah, leave that in. But
leave what in?
You can definitely hear it in the mic. But I don't know. I didn't vibe with it too hard. Is part of your desk? Oh no, that's an actual mic. It looks like part of your desk was being held up with a mic stand of some kind.
It is. One part of my desk is a mic stand.
Nice. Awesome. That actually is a cool looking desk. I've never noticed the design of it before, but it's actually like pretty rad.
It's like a glass top housed in wood. Yeah, it's
cool.
Pretty nice desk. Yeah.
I mean, I like this, like, I don't know. You're going to need to cut so much of this out. We're floundering.
I don't care. Let me grab another beverage.
Hells yeah.
Can I grab you anything?
Yeah, grab me another Truly in case I want it. I might not drink it though.
Any flavoring?
I don't care.
Okay. And we are back, Jack. So
you mean Jack Black? We are Jack Black.
We are collectively Jack Black. Yes.
Jackson Black.
Nacho. I do that every time I see nachos being served at a Mexican restaurant, and that's why I'm not invited back to several of them.
Do you remember Gallo's in Anchorage, Alaska?
Oh, do I remember Gallo's?
Yeah, that was a place I went to a lot.
Pointlessly gendered. How about themos? Am I right?
Guy-X. That is a joke for no one.
That's for all.
But I love that joke.
All of the NBs in the house listening to us.
I love that. That's funny.
I'm determined to get us the queerest podcast listenership, which is not going to happen because we're talking about Buckethead. Yeah.
Wow, we really
we have just
completely devolved.
We just spent 30 minutes talking about nothing. We're like Seinfeld on TBS.
Very funny.
Sped up for the ads and still pointless.
Wow. Okay. Well, anyways, we listened to Buckethead, I think. That's a thing we did, right?
We did.
We did do that.
God damn it, we did.
We did that together,
which was together.
Fun. It was a time.
What? God damn it, Spencer. Every week.
I'm glad this moment is occurring in person. Will you add it to the script? So I can't do it without the script.
I don't want to.
My brain is full.
This is honestly, I would do it if it wasn't slowly becoming one of my favorite comic motifs in this podcast.
All right. Okay. Brit?
Yeah.
I need you to hit me.
With what?
With a bucket fact.
Bucket fact.
Bucket fact.
Bucket fact, bucket fact, bucket fact, bucket fact, bucket fact.
It's a fact.
As Joe Biden might say.
I'm gonna give you a bucket fact, Jack.
So, between 1999 and 2008, Buckethead has released 8 albums with Viggo Mortensen, also known as the guy who played Aragorn.
In Lord of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings trilogy.
Yeah. Okay.
In addition to, he was in History of Violence, Eastern
and
Promises,
The Road,
Green Book, and in the last 3 I mentioned, he has been nominated for Best
Dong
Actor Oscars. Also Best Dong by
hangs dong, dude. That dude hangs dong in more movies than most actors, I think.
Hangs dong. He's not ashamed.
No.
I mean, yeah.
For sure. I'm pretty sure you and I have had this conversation before. I'm almost certain, and I feel like we talked about this before. Not raw on recording, but we definitely talked about this before. And in that conversation, we definitely talked about the Viggo Mortensen nudity clause. Because he's got to have some kind of thing in his contract that's yes, I need to show my dong in this production, right?
Right. I mean, it's
because it happens too much, or is he just super down?
It happens just enough.
He's very down to
every
hang the
time
dong.
I see the Viggo Dongason, I'm chef's kiss. It's like a beauty. This penis is very nice. My. No.
About 14 years too late on that one, bah.
Hey, listen. They just released a new one. My wife.
Do you remember going to see the original Borat with me?
Oh, when I was on Robotussin?
When you were on Robotussin, and then you threw up all over the fucking theater and ran away.
Oh, that's right. I threw up like all over the trash can in the theater.
You did.
Did it come back? I think it came back.
Well, so you did, but then I think you threw up again, and then we ran away like at the end of the movie.
Cool.
I don't remember, but yeah, you were messed up, and then you were like, "It was a bad idea to go see a comedy on Robotussin."
It really was. So the thing I remember most about that is it was my second time seeing Borat, and the first time I thought it was like really just genuinely fucking funny.
Yeah. Oh, totally.
The first time you see Borat in theaters,
it was really something else, especially at that time, right? Like there was not a lot of like comedy like that felt very like
and
fresh.
I was like huge LEG fan.
Yeah. Oh,
prior
for sure.
to that, and so like. I was like, this was anticipated, and I thought it was great the first time I saw it. I went to see it the second time on Robotussin and DXM specifically. It was the old school cough formula that was pretty much just entirely DXM. That was like the only active ingredient, and it would get you just fucked, like straight robo-tripping.
How much Tussin did you
I usually did one bottle at a time.
Bruh.
The most I ever did was like a bottle and a half, and that was... I did that in high school.
Jesus Christ.
And I remember like being in a computer lab and be like, hey, I think I'm sick. And then I like ran to the bathroom and just Ralphed for like 20 minutes. Just like straight red Ralph. And then I went back and I'm like, hey, I need to go to the nurses. And then I went to the nurse and the nurse was like, oh, yeah, you're sick. You should go home. And then, like, my grandpa picked me up, and he was a man of very few words, and so I really appreciated that at that moment.
I'm sure you did,
I wasn't really ready to deal with words or conversation.
Yeah, I can only imagine. Tell me what it was like to watch Borat
under
the influence of Robotussin.
So the thing about Robotussin is, like... How exactly can I describe it affecting humor? So you recognize that things are funny, like inherently, and like you recognize the elements of a joke and like what makes it funny. And so like your body will react to it and you'll laugh to it. But like there's a part of your brain where like jokes come together and you realize how they work and why they're funny.
Sure.
And your that part of your brain just shuts the fuck off.
Yes.
And so like I remember just watching this movie and like something funny would happen and the whole theater's laughing. I'm like, ha 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 ha. Nervously laughs. And it was, I don't know. It was a weird experience.
Yeah, I definitely remember looking at you and you looked weird.
I was uncomfortable entirely, and also like I wanted to puke for a long time.
And I felt like I think I was sitting next to you, and you kept like handing the popcorn back to me. And I don't know, or there was like a weird thing with the popcorn. That was a long time. That was 14 years ago,
True.
Britt. Do you realize that?
So I think I was sitting next to you, but there's also an old man sitting next to me making love to his tonic and gin. It's Piano Man. You don't know that song? Come on, Billy Joel.
Bill Joel. I'm not a fan of Bill Joel.
Do I need a harmonica to spell it out to you?
I'm not a fan of a harmonica
do
either.
I need to harmonica it out to you, Spencer?
No, never.
Do I need to Piano Man it out to you, bro?
Oh man, Piano Man is an okay song. Actually, it's the only Bill Joel song that I think is tolerable.
Really? Mm-hmm. Like Longest Time is so much better.
I don't know that one off the top of my head.
I'm not going to play it because I don't have the time. And
you know,
we're not going down the Billy Joel hole here. The rabbit Joel.
A Bill hole.
The rabbit Joel.
Yeah. Have you still not watched The Boys?
No.
Dude, the second season is all about Billy Joel. Like, you gotta watch that show, dude. It's good.
So you just unsold me on this show. I was thinking about watching it because you're like Carl Urban, and I'm like, cool.
He's really good in that show.
Now the second season's about Bill Joel.
It's not about Bill Joel, but Bill Joel is featured in the show, okay?
100% canceled. Don't want to... Excuse me, waiter. This is not what I ordered. Please take it back to the kitchen.
Oh, this world give me nothing but my fucking privilege and this guilt. And this guilt. This world give me nothing but my fucking privilege and this guilt. And this guilt. And this guilt. And this guilt. Give me a reason, use a power that I have to be bad as my plan. Cause sadness in the land. Pull strings of my hand.
So we did listen to 3 Buckethead albums.
We actually did do that.
After
That
all.
is real.
We definitely did. And so we
The
listened
first one,
to
yes.
Pikes 25,
Uh-huh.
26, and 27.
27.
Yep. Yeah. Do you...
Yeah, Pike 25. That was the first one we listened to in this batch.
Mhm.
And it was pretty fun.
Pancake Heater, released on September 5th, 2013.
Thank you so much. That's what I was looking for on my phone. I was like trying to make... You know how when you're like doing a thing, you're like trying to stall while you do it? That's what I was doing.
But it's a conversational stall. Yeah, I saw you doing that.
I was stalling hard. Yeah. So Pancake Heater, a great name for a record.
And it should be noted that he released this one day after the previous Pike 24 Slug Cartilage.
Oh, that was the dubstep one, right? Or no?
No,
Was that
that's
the
one we
dubstep?
haven't listened to yet because we're recording out of order.
Oh, fuck. Sorry.
It's
Cut
cool.
that out.
I can cut that out, but I won't. To make us
Shit. I'm stupid as fuck.
folks know how unprofessional we actually are.
Oh, we're terrible. I love the name. I love Pancake Heater. This is I'm going to make a proclamation. Britt, are you ready for this? You're not, I think you actually are ready for this.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a proclamation, okay?
Mm-hmm.
This is the most new metal Buckethead album I have heard so far.
You know what? I am going to agree with that. At least within this batch of 3, this was super new metal-y. Like, and it had a very new metal formula to it. Like, the thing that dominated the album is, I wouldn't say the album was like that dynamic. However, he did do a lot of the same riffs. He'd do them with just guitar and a clean tone a few times. And then he'd like do it with distortion, and like drums and bass would come in, and it'd like get bro down.
Yeah, for sure. But it was also quite heavy.
It was.
Like, while we were listening to it, I was trying to figure out what was going on. And you know what I think? I think that Britt, actually, I think that you're right. And I think that it is a baritone guitar that he's playing for this stuff. Well,
so.
it's either a baritone guitar or a 7 or possibly 8 string. There are a couple of moments in this record that are particularly heavy in a way that like made me think like, oh man, that could be an 8 string. I don't know. It could also just be a baritone guitar run through like an octave-ish effect, which he does do a lot of.
I didn't think about that. It could definitely just be a standard tuning run through an octave pedal.
Like a baritone run through an octave pedal for sure. And like he does do a lot of that stuff in some of the other records we listened to today, like a lot of the octave effects. So like that's what makes me think about that. But yeah, I lost track entirely because you farted too loud, and I was like, God damn it, okay.
I farted too hard. In the words of Andrew WK, farty hard.
When it's time to farty.
We will always farty hard.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, anyways, I like the heaviness of it. I thought that was fun. He doesn't do a single guitar solo on this album.
Yeah, it's all riffs.
It's all riffs all the time. All riffs, no masters, as I think we said at the time. Pretty good. I thought it was fun. There are lots of moments that made me want to hear vocals, though. Like, I feel like this one, like, because it was just riffs, it really would have benefited from vocals.
And you know what? In fact, I'll cut it into this podcast, but we did add vocals to one of the songs while we were listening together. Track 8, Break Scoop.
Break to scoop. Break to scoop. Break to scoops. Break to scoops. Break to scoops. You gotta break the scoops. Break the scoops.
Break the scoops.
break the scoops. Oh, that is a fun song. So that is the most melodic of the songs on this record.
Yeah, the last two tracks are very melodic. So the last track I actually wanted to talk about specifically because it was a very strange outlier and did not really sound like much anything Buckethead has made on Pikes up to this point.
It is the most black metal song he's ever made. It reminded me a little bit of like almost if it had blast beats instead of double kicks, it would be a Behemoth song. It could have easily been like Behemoth, 1349, Modern Mayhem, like that kind of a vibe.
So
for sure.
Behemoth without blast beats is pretty much what Cradle of Filth is.
Sure, kinda.
I mean, it's a very melodic. I mean, it's not as heavy for sure.
But this stuff is very much like
it's very symphonic black metal.
Yeah, but without the symphony.
Yeah, but still, like,
but totally
sample heavy.
Like
kinda,
it could definitely be that for sure. Like which is interesting. It's interesting for a head with a bucket on it to go there. You know,
for sure,
it's unusual. It's not something Bill Joel would do. Let me tell you that.
No, I mean, what would Bill Joel do? WWBJD.
All right, that's the name of the episode.
What would Billy Joel do?
No, Bill Joel.
Bill Joel. Okay.
What would Bill Joel do?
Fine. But yeah, so this album was like very generally. I thought there was. So it was a pretty new metal album, although I felt like the new metal kind of influences or what it reminded me of was actually fairly diverse. Like there was some very like bro down type stuff. There was very maybe like, you know, like UFC-ish kind of oriented. But there was also some stuff like the second song, Spires of Space Mountain, which is undoubtedly about the ride in Disneyland and Disney World. It's super Limp Bizkit.
I mean, I could definitely see that. I could see someone spitting some bars over a lot of these songs, but I could also like see somebody take it a different direction. Like I could see it going like a like bro hardcore type direction, like a kind of core influenced thing, or even like push it further than that and make it like some kind of, I don't know, more death metal thing, but.
Yeah, we're definitely.
But it's music that leaves itself open to that kind of interpretation because of the simplicity of it, right? Like, and I think that in itself is kind of interesting. It was fun.
Yeah. I didn't dislike the album. I mean, it's not on my top 5, but it's also not on my bottom 5. Like, you know, it was fine, serviceable. Pretty fun. I'd actually honestly really kind of like to see someone like put vocals over this. I think that would be kind of fun.
It could be kind of fun, but it's also maybe not in the spirit of the bucket.
That's very true. The bucket
spirit.
Perhaps. Bucket spirit. Yeah. And it was very diverse. Like, so track 3 and track 5, Crumbled and Pelted, and respectively Trough Theater were both like actually pretty death metal, and both of them kind of reminded me in a way of like when Sepultura went new metal in like the early 2000s.
Sure.
Or whatever.
It reminded me, a little bit of that, totally, because it's like also very thrashy, and it also reminded me a little bit of like early Mudvayne type stuff, like definitely like that kind of like heavy but like kind of slammy and lots of double kicks.
I feel like we almost need to talk about Mudvayne at some point because like they're actually like a really good band.
Oh, totally, for sure, and like they were definitely like pretty extreme for achieving the kind of like audience that they got. Like they're a fairly extreme band, and I think that's super interesting, and I don't think that they get enough like recognition for being like ostensibly a pop act that is also like kind of like extreme, like definitely like pushes the boundaries of like what is acceptable in pop music, and
right,
it's really interesting.
Yeah, and they really did like in a way helped, break boundaries and like push something into the mainstream that was immediately pushed back out of the mainstream because they're like, no. But when discussed in popular culture now, the way they're discussed is burp burp ding, burp burp ding.
There you go. But like, none of those memes really ever felt mean. Like,
no,
it always felt like fun. It was like, this is fun.
Right.
This is like a weird thing that happened, and like, it's fun to go back and look at that stuff, and not from a like a making fun of it perspective, but more of a like, wow, like this really happened, and like this was really a thing, and like
this is a popular thing.
A lot of people really liked this, and this spawned like this whole like subgenre of music and fashion and everything,
and dyeing your goatee.
Amazing. Like, really, I have not witnessed something equivalent to the new metal music or new metal. Fuck. Okay, I can talk now. I have not witnessed something equivalent to the new metal movement in my lifetime since then. Like, right, because I saw like, so after new metal, right, we had like the radio rock stuff, the start of butt rock, so to speak. You know what I mean? Like the Hinders, the Seethers, those types of bands.
That's not like what took over really as the predominant like popular form.
No, exactly.
Because new metal was number one for like 2 years. For
sure. And like, so then I saw the rise of like the indie movement, right? That I feel like that was the next like huge wave of things. Like, and like I was not
the bands, the Strokes, the Vines,
exactly.
Those, yeah.
And like I've definitely seen memes where it's like the Strokes are what ended the new metal movement, but like that's kind of true.
The Strokes and the Killers, kind of, yeah. Like,
well, the Killers is a fucking great ass band.
They are.
I stand them for sure. They're fucking awesome.
How do you like the Killers, but you don't like Interpol? They're like
Interpol's fine. I don't dislike Interpol.
Okay, I thought we had a discussion and you disliked them.
No, I don't dislike them.
Okay,
no, Interpol's fine.
Interpol's good.
Yeah, no, for sure. Anyways, yeah, I like some of that stuff, but that was like the next big major movement that I witnessed after the new metal stuff. And like, it was fun to grow up during that time period and like watch it all like become very hip, and then like it became, I feel like it became not hip pretty quickly. Like, and I don't think that I realized that at the time, but looking back at it, it's like, wow, I feel like it very quickly fell out of fashion. And like by the time we reached 2005, the like new metal was not really a thing anymore.
Here's the way I'll put it. I'd say in middle school, like in 7th grade,
which would have been 2001 for you.
Yeah, 2001. I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
About like 1 in 10 people at my school of the students had a Fred Durst hat.
Sick.
Yeah. 2 years later, nobody had a Fred Durst hat. None.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, there's a big regrets. Hashtag big regrets. Hashtag bucket regrets here.
Bucket regrets!
This is the future I want.
Yeah, that was beautiful. That really was beautiful.
I could have just like hung out at so many like Salvation Armies in like 2003, 2004 and just snapped up so many fucking Fred Durst snapbacks.
Hell yeah.
You know,
Hell yeah.
I could have a fucking mountain of red fitted new era Yankees caps. And big bucket regrets there.
Bucket regrets.
Actually, that's a more Durst regret. But...
Durst regrets.
No.
Yeah, totally. So, like, overall, like, I felt like, obviously, based on our conversation, this is a soundtrack to the early 2000s. That's what this record felt like to me.
Yeah.
It felt like honestly, it felt like the latter end of the nu metal movement to me. Like, that's what evoked memories of. It reminded me of, like, 2003, 2004, where, like, that stuff was still being pushed into the mainstream, but people weren't vibing with it as much as they were in the early 2000s, you know? But I also really enjoyed it because of that, because it reminded me of some of that stuff, and, like, that stuff is kind of... It has a place in my heart as like an interesting curiosity that spawned some really interesting musical stuff that I don't think would have happened if not for these very specific circumstances that spawned all of these very specific bands.
Right.
You know?
And so, you know, we talked about a couple podcasts ago with our guest Matt Collins, in an alternate thing that we're doing here, which is what ride or what attraction would this be a good soundtrack to?
Oh yeah,
and,
for sure.
I thought this one was like, you know, it was very nu metal-y in the way that there was like a lot of aggression to it. Like the dynamics were, you know, just a simple riff played cleanly, and then it got super heavy with that riff, right? And that's like kind of fight music. So
sure.
You know those things where it's like punch something to test your strength?
Oh yeah.
And it's like a speed bag, a boxing speed bag. Well, it's like that, except the reverse, to where it's a speed bag that punches you in the face.
Oh wow.
To test how hard you can get hit in the fucking face.
Wow, that's lovely. I love that.
Yeah,
that's nice.
That's what this album is for me.
Sure, I feel
it's
that.
Pretty.
Okay.
It's it takes the hoedown to a bro down, dog.
Hell yeah, I'm into it. I would circle pit.
Snowdown.
I would circle pit to this.
Yeah. I'd do most shapes of a pit to this. Isosceles rhombus pit.
Oh, the Dream Theater mosh pit.
Uneven dodecahedron pit.
Okay, so we listened to another Buckethead album, Pike number 26, Worms for the Garden.
That one, when was that released? That was released on September 13th, so 8 days after Pancake Heater. Golly, what do you have to say about this one? It's So on the last album, there were no solos whatsoever.
That is true.
And so the first 18 minutes of this album is a solo. Perhaps to make up for not soloing at all on the previous one. But
that is true.
We talked a lot about this one while it was playing, at least. So it's divided into 5 tracks, 30 minutes long. First track is 18 and a half minutes. And so the rest of them are just kind of like snippets. Fun kind of riffy metal for the most part. Pretty heavy. Lots of fuzz bass and guitar. But really, like, there's not a whole lot to talk about on this album, I don't think, except for the titular track, Worms for the Garden.
Mm-hmm. It's enormous. It's huge. It's so long.
It is.
And it's a very impressive solo. Like, honestly, there's a lot of nifty stuff in it.
Yeah.
It remains very melodic for all of it, you know?
Yeah.
It's not... Like, I have spoken in the past about how much I've been, like, not particularly into when it devolves into, like, very dissonant, like, chromatic shred stuff.
Yeah, this isn't
that.
Yeah.
This is Buckethead doing, like, a melodic solo. And he does a lot of, like... he goes into a lot of little parts in it that kind of lead it into the next thing, and it sounds a way that could be one take. It sounds in a way that could be one take.
We talked about this a lot actually while listening to it.
We did, yeah.
I don't think it's one take, and if it is, I am very impressed because, I mean, technically, he doesn't actually mess up like at all.
That's true.
Like, it's you know.
I mean, like, so it could be, and it could not. I don't know, and it doesn't matter really either.
We'll never know, because we're never going to talk to Buckethead.
That's kind of what it sounds like. It's just like one big epic solo, and it's real fun. I like that. I like that more than the rest of the song.
Yeah.
Or the rest of the songs on the record.
And honestly, so I'm going to straight up say it. This is probably my favorite Buckethead solo on any of the Pikes so far.
I think that's a fair thing to say. It's a very melodic, very long, very, very fun solo. The rest of the songs are not really that bad either, though.
No,
like
they're not.
He uses more of that baritone guitar here in this one. Like there's some really heavy stuff in it. There's another song on this record that kind of hits the same kind of heaviness as the stuff on the previous one, which is fun. I like that. There's some slap guitar in a song as well.
Yeah. I remember that. That was fun.
Yeah. And there was another pretty cool solo actually in the last song. The last song had a pretty interesting solo in it that I liked a lot.
Track 5, Molt.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I thought it was pretty good. Honestly, Worms for the Garden, I think, is a pretty fitting title in that I think this would be a really good soundtrack to gardening. You know, a lot of it's pretty heavy, like lots of fuzz and crunchy bass and guitar, but at least the titular track is like, it's a really nice melody with a lot of soaring solos and a lot of like interesting sweeping and tapping. It's good, like, I don't know, kind of like Space Out music. I could see.
For sure. I definitely did Space Out too.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. What ride do you think this belongs on?
This belongs on the kind of thing where, like, have you ever played one of those like stacker machines?
I don't know.
Where you're trying to like hit a button in a certain time to like get a stack of these LED things on top of each other.
Yeah, okay.
Right.
Right.
I'll be honest, like this reminds me of something like that because it's like a really like high energy kind of thing, and it's like, hey, like listen to these like guitar solos, spend all your money on this weird shitty gambling thing that for some reason is legal. And
child gambling,
yes, this child gambling machine. It reminds me of something like that, like, but in a nice way. Not, I don't want it to take the negative connotation of that. I did enjoy it, so it's like but like the positive connotation of being like, hey, keep spending your money, bro. It's cool. Don't worry about it. You'll get that PS Vita.
Yeah, that's cool.
Anyways, Bucket.
God, child come to Child Casino. A rat will make pizza for you and sing song. It's like,
dude, I miss the Chuck E. Cheese band. The Chuck E. Cheese band was really something special. Like, it really, like, I didn't like it as a kid. Did you ever go to the Anchorage Chuck E. Cheese as a child?
And an adult, yeah.
As an adult, bullshit. As a child, fantastic.
Yeah, I remember it being great. And there was like tunnels under the band area. Do you remember that? Or behind it?
No.
They had a weird series of tunnels behind there you could crawl behind.
I don't remember any of that.
It was something.
But like, I remember upstairs they had like a lot of arcade machines, like old cool arcade machines that they got rid of, which sucks because like that shit was dope back in the day. Very cool.
Yeah, like you don't go to Chuck E. Cheese for the ticketed games. Like,
no, you go there to play the arcade games.
Oh yeah, fuck child gamble. Like if I
child gambling, raise them right.
If I want to gamble with children, I'm gonna kidnap one of them. Like that's the type of gambling with children I get involved with. Pike 27, Halls of Dimension, released on September 18th, 2013. Just 5 days after Worms for the Garden. So within 13 days, he released these 3 Pikes we listened to, which I'm going to say is pretty impressive given the breadth and depth of the recordings. Yeah. So, I don't know. It was definitely different from the other 2 albums, and kind of different so far in terms of what he's doing.
Yeah, the heaviness is definitely different. I kind of like it. I think it's cool. It's definitely like, I like that he's taking to that and just kind of running with it. I think it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, but at the same time, I hope he doesn't just run with this too much, and he just doesn't make metal albums for the next, 200 whatever Pikes.
I think that so far Buckethead has shown us a willingness to make things diverse that has so far kept our interest. And I don't think that he's going to do us wrong. I really don't.
We'll see. I mean, depends on what do us wrong means.
That's true.
The way this album is set up is kind of interesting. And I feel like this is one of the first albums where I listen to it and I feel like he actually has made it for a ride or an attraction at a theme park, specifically. So the album starts with a track called McDougal Street, which is kind of it's got
what are we talking about? The next one?
Yeah, we're on to Halls of Dimension.
We didn't introduce it.
I did.
I didn't hear you. Are you sure?
You were on your phone, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's cool.
I
gave the date and everything, dog.
I'm so sorry. I apologize.
It's all good.
I'm kind of out of it.
It's all good. This is the last one.
Yeah.
So.
No, we're cool.
So the album starts out with a track called McDougal Street, which is pretty funky and feels like almost an entry, or like you're walking along the street and then like maybe you see something, maybe you see the halls of dimension, right? And then the next 5 tracks are Hall 1, Hall 2, Hall 3, Hall 4, and Hall 5. All of which actually like run into each other like really well. But then track 7 is called Part 2, Falling Through the Vacuum. And then the last track 8 is Sunset. That album's structured kind of oddly, and it definitely has like different parts to it as he titled it. But I don't know, what do you think of the album overall?
This is the one that I think I liked the least out of this group.
Interesting.
I didn't necessarily think it was bad.
Mm-hmm.
There were parts on it that I liked. I wasn't huge on the first song of it. I felt like it was just like kind of standard blues rock stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then it starts to go some places, I'll be honest. And I did like the 5-part, Halls of Dimension, thing. It definitely went some places. I liked when it went to acoustic stuff, and that's something that happens in the first one. Mm-hmm. And I did like that a lot. And then there are some faster thrash parts as it goes along, and it went some places. I thought it was interesting, but So
one thing definitely of note here is I believe this is the first Pike that includes like very not recognizable, but like obvious samples. Like it has a sample of a human talking. It has a violin sample, and it has a sample of a dog.
And some chickens, too.
And some chickens, yeah. And so, and I don't think we've heard that in any of the Pikes so far.
There is one Pike. I forgot. I think we talked about it at the time. Mm-hmm. Maybe we didn't. There's one that definitely does have, like, an audio sample in it.
Okay. But
this is the most samples we've ever heard in a song.
There's, like, 4 songs with samples on them, at least in this. And I'm like, oh, wow. That's definitely new into the Bucket repertoire.
The Bucket verse.
Bucket verse! Yeah. No, I honestly, it's weird that this was your least favorite album out of 3. This was by far my favorite album out of the 3.
I liked the first 2/3 of it, but the last third of it felt like it was just like nonsense for a while. And I was like, I don't know how I feel about this.
So the last 2 songs just like went really metal. Song 7, Part 2, Falling Through the Vacuum, was just like, I don't know, just a very noodly solo over some heavy riffs, and that's fine. But like, the exploration of Halls 1 through 5 were all fantastic, I thought. Like, and really kind of break out from what Buckethead has been doing up to this point in the Pikes. Yeah, it was
totally.
I was a pretty big fan of that one. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and say that would be a great soundtrack to a ride called Halls of Dimension. And the ride is specifically...
Mirrors? Are there mirrors involved? There's got to be mirrors, right?
It's in Buckethead Land.
Okay.
And the ride is specifically a ride into the history of MK Ultra.
Okay, sure.
Oh.
That sounds like a Buckethead Land, type of vibe, for sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
How about you? What?
I could feel that. When I was thinking, so when I was listening to this, it did remind me of like a drug trip, in the sense that I definitely agree with what you said before, but it also reminded me of just like, I don't know, Hall of Mirrors type stuff, where just you're walking through an environment that is odd, and the music gets progressively more odd as you go along. So any kind of a thing that would do that, right? So like an extended Hall of Mirrors type experience, for example, or potentially some kind of, maybe not a haunted house, but like that kind of a vibe. Like you're walking through some kind of art exhibit or something,
Yeah, I feel that.
Just because of the diversity in the music, the lengths at which it goes to be odd and to be unusual.
That's true. Yeah, I feel that.
That's kind of what I felt about it. It felt a little artistic in that sense.
It did feel quite artistic, yeah. And like the halls could just be like the halls of a museum, frankly. Like in the way this is kind of approached, I think. But it's good. I liked it for the most part. I kind of liked all three of these. I didn't dislike any of them.
For certain.
I didn't love any of them, though. I mean, I don't think any of these three are going to be on my top or bottom 5.
Agreed. Yeah, these were very acceptable bucket releases. And
bucket releases.
And
let's never do that one again.
That one was terrible.
Unless we're talking about Buckethead coming or taking a poop.
Oh, yeah. That, he does release when he does those things.
I'm sorry, back up a little here. Do you think Buckethead does drugs? And also, do you think Buckethead comes? I mean, these are really questions to just throw in at the 11th hour here. Like
in the 11th hour,
it is
we talk
o'clock.
about come. Anyways.
With the rebel, yeah.
Bucket, come.
Come.
Well, yes.
It's a nice day for a white coming.
Wow. Yeah. Come
without a face.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I imagine so. I imagine that Mr. Head has a really, like, healthy life where he gets to, like, he or however they identify. I don't even know. I'm assuming a lot here. But I'm gonna assume that they're living their best life.
Yeah.
I mean, and that involves whatever it involves.
I think it's he him, by the way.
Okay.
From everything I've read in every interview, like they've always been he him. So
okay.
I think that's fair to say.
Okay.
At this point, unless we're corrected by them or someone else close to them.
Bucket come.
Bill Idol.
What would Bill Idol do?
What would Bill Idol do? Yeah, so those were the albums. They were good. Not great.
Yeah, no,
good.
they were solid. They were solid.
Yeah, definitely.
This has been the drunkest episode of this show. In case you're wondering it's
for
bad.
you.
Yeah, in case you're wondering why I'm bad.
I think
it's because I'm
definitely
very drunk.
I've been way.
No, I'm not actually very drunk. But I am like buzzed enough that life is a highway, and I want to Buzz Lightyear it all night long.
Two Trulies and beyond.
Okay, recommend me something. I'm gonna keep burping into the microphone until you do it.
My recommendation was kind of Rode microphones because they're so fantastic. But
well, clearly, yes, Rode makes some wonderful microphones. Like as you can hear our voices.
But you know what? I'm gonna have to go ahead and recommend Black Boss Porter from Poland. It's what I've been drinking all day, and it's a 9.2% porter beer that definitely has hints of like caramel, chocolate, chicory, a little bit of umami, kind of like soy sauce to it as well.
Oh yeah.
But it's a very light drinking, very smooth, slightly sweet porter. It will just get your balls fucked. It will tie your balls up around your neck like a noose, and you'll be a tangle-footed duncy face.
Love to hear it. That's wonderful, dude.
Thanks. It's been brewed continuously in Poland since I want to say 1848.
Cool.
Just like your, great Zhashak used to fucking like drink way too much of and abandon his children.
Can you import some of this shit from Poland where it has like a Polish label on it? Because that would be dope.
Perhaps. At the current moment, a company in America known as Broar imports it, and they import it at such an incredibly cheap price. It's always just like alarming to me. So you can get a 500 milliliter bottle of this for like $3 at a lot of places.
Yeah, it's not expensive.
It's super cheap, and if you like, being able to feel your liver when you wake up in the morning, Black Boss is a good way to go.
It's actually like good though. The last time I bought one, so you don't see it at every place, right? But
No.
like when I do see it, I always grab one, and it is really good. You're not wrong. Like and like one of those will set you feeling pretty good. You drink two of those or more, and you are set for an adventure.
So recently I had to cut back on drinking. So at work, being a grocery goth, I can get like special deals and stuff like that.
Sure.
And I got to where I was buying Black Boss by the case, and I was buying 2 cases at a time in hopes that would last me 2 weeks. That'll 14 days, 24 beers. That's
2 beers a day.
I'm sorry.
Almost 2 beers a day.
No, that's almost 4 beers a day because they come in 24 packs. So I was getting 48 at a time.
Oh. What is beeping? What is happening in your house?
That's the self-destruct sequence. I'm sorry, dude. So 48, but after I did this for a couple months, I picked up the 48 bottles, and the next week I was like, oh, are my 2 cases coming in? And the beer buyer's like, not till next Friday. And I was like, oh, I drank like 50 Black Bosses in 7 days.
That's too much.
That's a very large amount of alcohol. That's drinking a little bit more than a fifth a day worth of alcohol, which is that's too much.
It's too much.
That's too much.
It's much too much.
Like
it's touched too much.
And I mean, like, you know, every year on my physical, I get like, you know, a liver panel and stuff done, and they're like, "Oh, your liver's fine," and I'm like, "No, it's not. Like, it can't be. That's not fair to like people who like need dialysis and shit. Like, I deserve. Like, I really come on." But you know, I am part Polish, so I think
the black boss is good for your soul, dude.
My ancestors were looking out for me, building up this resistance, you know.
For sure.
They died drinking so I could fly. Drinking.
As one does.
What do you recommend, my dude?
Oh, that's a good question. I've been playing this game lately. It's called Yakuza Zero.
Ooh, okay. I used to play the Yakuza games. How is Zero? Is it a prequel?
So Yakuza Zero is a prequel to the Yakuza series. So they remade all of these games for modern consoles. They look really good. They run really good. They look really good.
I want to say the last one I played was like 3 on maybe PlayStation 3. Is that right?
That sounds right, maybe.
Long time ago.
Anyways, very weird, very fun, very, very weird, very Japanese. But the writing is really good. Like the localization is really good. Like the translation, like so it's all in Japanese, but there's like subtitles, right? And like the subtitles are really good. Like they're really funny. Like it's very well written. It was definitely written by someone who is very familiar with like the way that modern American people speak, and so the writing feels very good, like really snappy. It's pretty interesting to see something like that because it's very fucking Japanese and it's really weird, but the writing is so like what you would expect. I don't know, it's weird, it's interesting. It's a weird fucking game. I don't know if I'm gonna finish it, but like I've been enjoying like dabbling with it here and there. And I guess I would recommend that. I guess. Yeah. It's weird as fuck. No, it's a weird fucking game. It's so weird. You don't know. I went on a side quest the other night where I was helping a dominatrix learn how to be a dominatrix. And there's like a very long conversation that they have about kinks and how like you should accept people for their kinks and try to be like kind to them because like everybody has their kinks and it's a whole thing. And it was very wholesome and it was very like, but it was like very explicit and very wild. And I was like, well, this is really something else.
So wait, I'm sorry, were you recommending my diary?
I like.
What were we talking about?
There's a lot of things I like about it, and so yeah, for sure, definitely check that out. It's filled with weird stuff, and it's great.
It's a weird world after all.
Totally.
Six-Ed world.
Actually, I did 2 quests about kink shit. I did that quest about the dominatrix shit, and then there was another quest where I was like, there were these high school girls selling their panties to dudes, and I had to like convince the high school girls to not sell their panties to the dudes.
So I mean, I'm gonna stop you here and just let you know that like, I mean, to you these are the side quests, but but I know this is the main quest in life.
Okay, I think that's good. I don't know.
I mean, good is like a moral judgment, and there's no morality involved here.
So, what were we talking about?
I was just saying, if you're not into metal, you can leave the hall.
Oh yeah, that is true. You must leave the hall.
If you're not into throat health, you can leave the hall's cough drops with me.
Yes. Brothers of Metal.
Brothers of Throat Health.
Yes. The halls.
We were fighting with licorice root.
And valerian for all.
Yeah. Licorice root and valerian for all. That's the worst power metal band album.
Uh-huh.
Band album. Band album. Band album. Oh, man.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
All right.
Don't follow me on the internet. I don't
Yeah.
care.
Yeah, don't go on the internet. It's a bad place.
Dude, it's terrible. Like, fuck it. Don't do it to yourself. I mean, I know it's hard to not, but also just don't. Like, it's, I don't know.
Like, what was the last good thing you did on the internet besides, like, cum?
I do laugh a lot because of the internet. Sometimes, okay.
Well, wait. Question. I'm sorry to interrupt, but
please.
do you also live in love?
Uh-huh. I do.
Okay.
I live, laugh, and love on the internet.
That's good.
I mean, who doesn't these days?
That's very true.
There's an app for all of that.
Yeah. I like to give Graf glove.
What's the glove part? Is it Glover for the N64?
It's smell the glove.
That goes to 11 for sure.
That joke went to 11 listeners, which is how many people actually will listen to this podcast.
That's amazing.
That's what I'm aiming for now. So yeah, but if you want to follow Spencer on the internet,
just don't. I'm not sharing my. Don't follow me.
Karate.
Damn it.
Something, I don't know, new metal something. Just look up new metal and the letter K, and then hope
There you
the
go.
best.
There you go. Yeah.
That's really.
That's the way to do it.
And if it's like new metal Ku Klux Klan, maybe that's him. Who knows? Follow it.
Wow. Holy shit. It's definitely not that. Okay.
I mean, there's got to be a new metal Ku Klux Klan, though, right? Like,
Ew.
I mean,
there are probably, unfortunately.
Yeah. What's the most racist seeming new metal band?
Oh fuck.
Like, even if it's totally unintentional, no value judgment on the band themselves, but what's the one that if news came out like, hey, this band is in the Klan, like Stained is probably in the Klan actually. Maybe
I don't know,
Mud.
man. I can't make a judgment like that. I don't think I've ever encountered that kind of a vibe from those bands, and I would hate to paint somebody like that if they're not like that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I've never felt that kind of shit, but also like I have felt like these bands are like also very basic white people music, you know?
True, and I mean, something we haven't talked about, even though we have talked about Mudvayne, is
never mind. Pantera.
They're not new metal.
Great Southern Trendkill.
I mean, I could see that as like proto new metal. I could definitely see an argument.
Pantera is definitely proto new metal.
Yeah, definitely. Like if it weren't for great like Cowboys from Hell and Great Southern Trendkill, like new metal probably would not have happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, well, that's not like a would be. Like that's Phil Anselmo's racist. Yeah. I don't know. The most racist new metal. But one thing we haven't talked about though is in action at least, I feel like like Mudvayne is actually pretty racist in that in their video for Dig, their singer performs in blueface when he is not in fact
a Smurf?
A Smurf or a genie.
Or one of the Avatar people, whatever they are. Yeah.
That's real.
Have you seen that guy with all that tattooed his body blue? So he's like one of the Avatar people?
I have.
That guy's so cool.
Yeah, I love people who like take it to the next level and do like otherkin stuff. Like, have you seen the dude who wants to be a cat who like has had whiskers installed and shit?
That sounds cool though. That's rad.
It's
Whatever.
what he's doing to fulfill his
Come.
to come. Yeah,
To come.
no, that's really he just wants to come in his weird way, and he's like,
Yeah.
I need to like play with my whiskers to come. And I'm like,
Sure.
You do you, guy, because I'm not, dope.
But that ain't for me. But I respect that life. You gotta respect that grind.
Meow,
grind.
meow, 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 meow. That's all I gotta say to that shit.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Man, I miss those commercials. Those were good.
I think it still exists.
Don't miss commercials. What is wrong with my warped brain? Why would I miss commercials? That's fucking dumb. Fuck commercials.
Well, but I mean, here's the thing though: is like I will go on YouTube all the time and watch like non-commercialized, like non-monetized videos of nothing but like 90s commercials for hours. And so I'm like,
you're sick.
They got me in a different way. Like all these brands are just like, oh, you're gonna watch a non-monetized video, so like, you're not gonna watch a modern McDonald's ad, but you will watch 31 old McDonald's ads.
Old McDonald had a commercial.
Hello, this is Ronald. You don't say. You don't say. You don't say. Click. Who was it, Ronald? They didn't say. McDonald's. McDonald's.
I'm hating it.
McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
I'm hating it.
So, I think that's a good place to tie the noose.
Fucking yeah, right? All right,
yeah.
Later.
This has been Britain.
And this has been Spencer.
You've been listening to Gettin' Head, a Bucketcast. Stay greasy.
Well,
let's try this again. I missed my line.
me too.
This has been Britain.
And this has been Spencer.
You've been listening to Gettin' Head. God damn it. This has been Britain.
And this has been Spencer. You've been listening to Gettin' Head, a
Bucketcast. Stay greasy, Bucketheads.
Namaste.